Rapunzel. There was once a couple who longed for a child, and finally they were expecting a baby.
We're going to have a baby, dear. Now why are you looking so sad?
I'm not sad. I just want to have some of that lovely lettuce growing in that garden.
Oh no. Don't you know that that garden belongs to the evil witch?
I know. But I just can't get my mind off the lettuce. I'm yearning to have it. Oh, please, won't you get me some?
The husband could not bear to see his wife like this, so decided to risk getting some lettuce for her. That night, he climbed over the wall of the garden next door, quickly plucked some lettuce, and ran back to give it to his wife. The next day, he saw his wife again standing looking out of the window.
Now what's troubling you, my dear? Didn't you enjoy the lettuce?
I really enjoyed the lettuce, darling, but now I just have to have some more.
My dear wife, you know how dangerous it can be if the witch finds out. Ask me for anything else and I will get it for you.
But the wife could not stop yearning for the lettuce, and finally her husband agreed to once again get some for her. Once again, the man climbed into the witch's garden next door, but just as he was going to pluck the lettuce, a booming voice stopped him.
How dare you steal the lettuce from my garden, you thief!
Oh, madam, I'm so sorry. I'm not a thief, but my wife is expecting a baby and was dying to have some of your lovely lettuce.
That is no excuse for stealing.
I know, and I am really very sorry. But I beg you, please show some mercy. It's only because of my wife's condition that I came to get the lettuce.
Well, I will let you have the lettuce, and as much as you want, but you have to promise me something.
Anything you say, madam.
When your wife has the baby, you have to give it to me.
What?
You heard me, and if you do not agree, you will pay for it.
The husband was so scared that he agreed to the witch's demand. When the baby was born, the young man and his wife were very happy. However, soon the witch arrived to take away the little baby.
Oh, please have pity. We have waited so long for a child. Don't take away our little daughter.
Your husband has made a promise, and you have to keep it. Hand over the baby. She is mine now.
The witch picked up the baby and left the couple heartbroken. She named the little girl Rapunzel. As time passed, Rapunzel grew up into a very beautiful girl with long golden hair, and the witch was now worried.
Rapunzel is growing up into a lovely young lady. I should not let anyone see her, as someone might take her away, or she might run away with someone. I have to find a place where no one can get to her. I will not let her get away from me.
The witch took Rapunzel deep into the woods, locked her up in a tall tower, and closed the entrance.
Oh, Mother, why are you locking me here? What will I do here all alone?
Don't you worry your head about that. I will visit you every day and bring you all that you need.
But Mother, you have closed the entrance to the tower, so how will you come up?
When I come, I will say, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, my dear, let down your hair. Your mother is here.
So when the witch called out, Rapunzel would let down her long golden hair, and the witch would climb up to the tower. Time passed by, and Rapunzel turned into a beautiful young lady of 16. She would pass her time singing in her beautiful voice. One day, the prince of the land was out hunting. When he happened to pass near the tower where Rapunzel was locked and heard her singing.
What a beautiful voice! I wonder who is singing in these deep woods.
The prince kept wandering till he came to the tower where Rapunzel was locked, but he could not find any way to get into the tower. he suddenly heard someone coming and quickly hid behind some bushes. Soon, he saw the witch approaching the tower. She looked up and called out,
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, my dear, let down your hair. Your mother is here.
The prince watched with amazed eyes as the golden hair came down and the witch climbed up.
Aha! So that is how one can get up the tower.
The prince waited till the witch came down. After the witch had gone, he waited to make sure there was no one else around, and changing his voice, called out,
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, my dear, let down your hair. Your mother is here.
Mother just left a while ago. Why is she back so soon? I better not disobey her, or she will get angry.
Immediately, Rapunzel let down a long shaft of golden hair. The prince quickly climbed up, and when he saw the beautiful Rapunzel, he immediately fell in love with her.
Who are you? Please go away. My mother will be very angry if she sees you here.
Do not be afraid, pretty lady. Your enchanting voice drew me here, and I could not resist finding out who was singing in such a beautiful voice.
Though at first Rapunzel was scared when she saw a stranger climb up, she too soon fell in love with the handsome prince.
Tell me, my dear, why has your mother locked you up here in the middle of the woods?
My mother doesn't want anyone to see me and take me away from her. I'm so glad you found me.
Time went on, and the prince came to visit Rapunzel more and more often, and they both started loving each other more and more. The prince now wanted to marry Rapunzel, but he couldn't think of a way to get her out of the tower.
My dear Rapunzel, I cannot wait to make you my bride. When your mother comes, shall I ask for your hand?
Oh, no, you must never do that. If my mother comes to know you visit me, she will do something terrible. Please, promise me you will never let my mother know.
All right. I won't let your mother know. And don't worry, I will find a way of getting you out of here.
But one day, Rapunzel made a big mistake when the witch came to visit her.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, my dear, let down your hair. Your mother is here.
The prince climbs up in a jiffy, but you take so long and you are so heavy also.
What prince?
No, I meant...
You horrible girl! What have you been up to behind my back? I wanted to protect you from the world, but you have backstabbed me. I will make you pay for it. I will banish you to the desert.
No, mother,
But the witch was very angry, and in a fit of fury she cut off Rapunzel's beautiful hair and sent her off. She then waited for the prince, who soon made his way to the tower.
Rapunzel, it's me, your prince. Let down your hair.
The witch let down Rapunzel's long hair, and the prince quickly climbed up.
My darling, I am here.
So you are the one who wants to steal Rapunzel from me. Just you wait and see what I do to you.
When the prince saw the witch, he got so scared that he lost his grip, and down he fell. He fell on some bushes, so his life was saved, but some thorns from the bushes pricked his eyes so badly that he could not see. The dejected prince didn't know what to do, where to find his beloved Rapunzel. He just followed his horse wherever it led him. He survived by eating some fruit and berries growing on the trees.
Oh, my darling Rapunzel. Where are you? I will not stop searching till I find you, my love. I cannot live without you.
For a long time, the prince kept wandering. He went over hills and valleys and over plains, till he finally reached the desert where Rapunzel had been sent by the wicked witch. He was so tired that he sat down to rest for some time and dozed off. After some time, he was suddenly awakened by someone singing beautifully.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel. Oh, this beautiful voice can belong to no other than my Rapunzel. I can recognize her voice anywhere.
The blind prince started staggering across the desert in the direction of the voice. He was so weak that he couldn't even shout out his beloved's name. But even from a distance away, Rapunzel recognized the figure of the prince making his way towards her. She couldn't believe her eyes. She dashed over to her prince, who collapsed in her arms.
My sweetheart, I knew you would finally find me. Oh, I am so happy. I am so happy.
Tears of joy were streaming down Rapunzel's cheeks, and suddenly a miracle happened. As her tears fell on the prince's eyes, they opened and he could see again.
My love, my dear love. I have been looking for you everywhere, and have now found you. My sweet Rapunzel, your days of misery are over. Your mother will never be able to get you now.
I cannot believe we are finally together again. Is this a dream?
No, sweetheart. This is no dream. You are really with me, and I shall love and protect you always.
So saying, the prince picked up Rapunzel and put her on his horse, and they both made their way to his kingdom. The king and queen were overjoyed on seeing their beloved son again, and happily accepted Rapunzel as their son's bride. There was feasting and dancing and merrymaking for many days as the prince wed his bride, and they together led a happy life and ruled wisely over their kingdom.
This is the story of a poor young girl who sold matches in the street. This story took place a long, long time ago on a New Year's Eve. It was snowing heavily, and it was severely cold outside. In the cold and the darkness, there walked along the street a poor little girl. She had no extra clothes to cover herself from the cold. And she had no shoes to save her feet from the freezing cold. She had slippers on when she left home, but they were much too large for her feet. They were her mother's slippers. She sold matches for a living. That day, she left home to sell matches on the street as usual.
Oh God, it is snowing heavily. It is too cold today. What will I do? If I don't go to sell matches, my family will not be able to buy food.
She decided to brave the cold and sell matches. She was just about to cross the street when a horse carriage sped towards her. She was scared, and she ran across the street to save herself. She had lost both her slippers while she was running.
Oh, my slippers. I need them. My legs are getting cold.
She was just about to cross the street when a boy grabbed her slippers and ran away with them.
Hey, stop. Those are my slippers.
But the boy didn't. He ran away. So the little girl continued walking with her bare feet. Her feet had turned blue in the chilling cold.
My leg. They are paining. Oh, is so cold today.
In an old apron that she wore, she had bundles of matches, and she also carried a bundle in her hand. She sat a corner in the street and waited for customers to buy matches from her. She waited for a long time, but no one came to her. She never lost her hope and continued to wait for customers. It was snowing heavily now. The poor little girl was shivering with cold and hunger. The snowflakes fell on her long hair, and she wiped it off of her shoulders. She smelled a roasted goose being cooked at a nearby house.
People are celebrating today, but there is nothing to eat at my house. God, please help me to sell some matchsticks.
The little match girl then continued to wait for a customer.
Oh God, please help me to sell these matches. I also want to buy a goose for my family.
She tried keeping her little feet underneath herself to cover from the cold, but that was of no use. She wanted to go home because of the cold, but then what would she tell her family? Her father would definitely be angry at her if she returned home without any money in hand. She looked around at the beautiful mansions in the street. She thought about her home. It had only a roof above, and that too was full of holes. Her little hands were nearly frozen with cold now.
I can light a match to warm my fingers.
So at last, she drew one match out and struck it. It gave out a warm, bright flame like a little candle, and she held her hands over it. The fire warmed her fingers.
Oh, it feels so good. I'm getting better now.
But once the flame went out, she started feeling the cold again. So she rubbed another match against the wall. It burned brightly. Then a miracle happened. She could see through the wall where the light of the match fell. She could see what was going on inside the house. She was being pushed into the world of fantasy. She could see everything in that room. There was a white cloth spread on the table, and there were some nice plates arranged on top of it. A stuffed roasted goose was placed at the center, and it had a delicious smell. Then she saw something she couldn't believe. The goose jumped from the dish with a knife and fork still in its breast, and it ran straight towards the little girl. But the match went out, and everything vanished quickly. Then she lit another match. This time, she saw another fantasy. She was under the most beautiful Christmas tree, larger and far more prettily decorated than the one she had so far. She was fascinated by that Christmas tree. She walked forward and stretched out her hands to touch them, but then the match went out. Then she struck another match. This time, she saw a long trail of light in the sky.
Huh? It looks like a star has fallen from the heavens. It seems someone is going to die tonight.
It was her grandmother who told her that if a star falls from the sky, then someone will definitely die to send the soul back to heaven. She struck another match against the wall. In the brightness, she saw her dear old grandmother. She loved her grandmother a lot. Her grandmother always showered her with love and kindness. She moved the light to the front and saw the smiling face of her grandmother. She was so happy to see her grandma right there. Then she started crying.
Oh, dear Grandma, please take me with you. I know you will go away when the match burns out. You too will vanish, like the New Year's feast and the beautiful Christmas tree.
The little match girl didn't want her grandmother to leave. She knew that her grandmother will vanish when the light burns out. So this time, she lit the whole matchsticks together. The match burned a shining light. Grandmother then came close to the little girl. She looked at her with compassion. She took the little girl in her arms and flew up into the sky. They flew far above the earth, away from cold and hunger, to the heavens. The next morning, people gathered around the dead body of the little match girl. She was frozen to death the previous night. Her body was leaning against the wall with a smiling face. People wondered how could anyone die with a smiling face, but no one could imagine the beautiful things she had seen, or how happily she had gone with her grandmother into the heavens.